So, thou art a feminist, thou art feminist. Yes, I am. So what? Call me Lily Liver, call me Chicken Liver, call me Shell of a Man. Why would you be supporting gender equality? Why would you be speaking or standing up for a woman? You should be bros before hoes. It should be your men or your male folks. It should be testosterone before progesterone. It should be dicks before boobies. That's your business. The way you are allowed to your own chain of thoughts, that's the way I'm allowed to my chain of thoughts. I love to see and I want women to be independent. I want women to be intelligent. I want women to be ambitious. I want women to be go-getters. I want them to be resilient. Please, don't allow anybody to tell you you can't attain this, you can't attain that because you're a woman. Don't allow anybody to use your gender as a woman to limit you. Okay? Please. Don't allow anybody to use gender as a bias, as a basis to limit you. The sky, they say. Hola, Joshman here. Welcome to what's another episode of For the Life of Joshman, created by Celebration Pictures. Before I get to today's discuss, I would like to say thank you for the previous episodes, for the last episodes, the first episode, which is the premiere episode, for the second episode, the third episode, and the fourth episode. And thank you in advance for the remaining episodes that will make up this season. Thanks for your correspondences, thanks for your feedbacks, thanks for every manner and platform with which you'll be able to express your satisfaction or maybe otherwise. For those correspondences that need to be responded to, apologies, I will do that in due time, or the Celebration Pictures team will do that in due time. Okay, today we are talking career choices, parental impositions, and every other thing in between. It's very common to have parents say, oh, in our family, our generation, my grandfather was a lawyer, my father was a lawyer, my this was a lawyer, I'm a lawyer, you have to be a lawyer. Imposing their own will on a child. Imposing their own will on their offspring, on their words, not minding the fact that the children or the child, if it's a person and if it's more than one children, do not have interest in this career path. Maybe, for example, you are from a family of lawyers, from a family of legal luminaries, and then your child is about to get into college, or your child is in high school and is to decide what he wants to be or what profession he wants to engage in, if he wants to engage in for the rest of your life. And he comes up and he says, hi dad, hi mom, I think I want to drift away from the path of the law, from the legal profession that is known with our family. I want to be a musician. Oh, and daddy goes all mad. Oh, not in my life. Oh, my dead body, you will never be a musician. This and that, this and that. By the way, it's quite cold, but I'm daring the code. You will never be a musician. This. What is said about our family? We produced lineage of lawyers. We produce classes of lawyers. We are known with the law. It is expected from the day that a child in this family is born that when he grows up, when he comes of age, he's going to be a lawyer. That is what we are known for. It has been so back in the days, and it will be so now and forever. Even your children, they must be lawyers too. It's very common, and it's very disheartening and appalling if parents, you still do that in the 21st century. If you are a parent and you still do that in this 21st century, because the big question is, you are a part of your child's life now, but you will not be a part of that child's life forever. Because there will be a certain point where you have to move on. I mean, you have to transcend from this ephemeral life to eternity. And what happens? You force and you impose your will on the child, you force and you impose your profession or the profession of your choice or what you seem is right on the child, and you forget that once you've moved on to the other side, once you've transcended to the other side, this child will be left in this world with that unhappiness, with that lack of fulfillment, with that despair, with that disgust for a profession where it's not his heart. There's a still current series I watch, Bob Hart's Abishola, and the son to Abishola, who is Dele, wants to be a dancer. He wants to be a dance choreographer. He says he wants to be a dance choreographer because it makes him happy. But his mother Abishola does not buy into that, or she's not having a big cause. She feels he should be a medical doctor so that when she's old, Dele can take care of her, and that Dele can also make reprisal for all the suffering she has suffered, having to emigrate from Nigeria to the US. In the end, she had to see reasons and had to accommodate that, okay, Dele, you're going to be a dance choreographer, but medicine, you will still partake in medicine, you will still be a medical doctor. For me, that's not a win-win. For me, that's not a middle ground. For me, that is win for her and loss for Dele, because Dele is getting dance choreography, but still carrying the baggage of medicine, which he doesn't like. And it was very obvious in the series. You would always see from, not just by Dele's words, those he told about his mother's imposition of a choice of career, and not just by the words he said, even by his facial expressions, his countenance and body language, you could tell that he didn't want to be a musician. He just wanted to be a dance choreographer. And he has been doing dance choreography for 5 years. And his mother, who seemed to be the protective type, was not oblivious. Was not oblivious. She was unaware. She was oblivious. She was unaware. She didn't know until Dele expressed his displeasure to her fiance, who was a white man, Bob, and then Bob had to bring the two parties into equation, and they just had to do something for what they felt was a win-win. But for me, I feel that it's not a win-win, because Dele, if she says, Dele, forget about medicine, do what makes you happy, that's a win. But if she says, but she decided that Dele would do dance choreography plus medicine, is a win for her, not a win for Dele. But that's by the ways. That's me just using a current series I see or a current series I watch as an analogy. So parents, we need to stop doing this to our kids. It makes us kids, it makes the children unhappy. Like I said, you transcend, you move on, and the child, once you've transcended, is left in a world of despair, is left in a world of unhappiness, is left in a world of gloom, because what he is currently doing, he is not happy. We have to make it a point of contact. It's pertinent that we are happy about what we do. It's not all about money every time. Yes, money is very important. I like money, and I know you like money too. Money is very important, but it's not all about money. Sometimes happiness, sometimes satisfaction, sometimes pleasure, sometimes the word seems to escape me. Happiness, satisfaction, pleasure. Sometimes there's this feel good. Yes, there's this feel good about doing something you love and getting something you love. For example, I am someone who loves to dispense sagacity, and every time I do it, whether it gives me huge results or not, I'm always happy to do it. I am someone who enjoys research. It always bedazzles me. It always amazes me. I'm always happy, because especially when what I have in mind, or the kind of psyche I had in mind, or the hypothesis I put up, is disapproved by the results or the findings I have in my research. It's always fun. I love to talk sport. I enjoy it. Whether I've gotten economic returns or not, I don't care. I love to talk sport and I enjoy it. Growing up, I wanted to be a tennis star. I wanted to play tennis. I remember back then when we were playing tennis, our makeshift tennis in the house, I would always go for being Rafa. And if we decide to make it WTA, that is the women section, the women category, I would always pick pick Serena and stuff like that. No, so watching Serena and Rafa and all that growing up helped my psyche. I was enjoying watching them and I wanted to be like them. But in the end, did I get the support I needed? No. I'm not here to do the blame game, but I didn't get the support I needed. Maybe I could be, who knows, I could maybe be playing in the Australian Open in the Grand Slams, competing against the likes of the Federer and the Djokovic and the Nadals of this world. But who knows, I could be playing mixed doubles with Serena Williams. Who knows? But I wasn't giving that support. All I kept hearing, what I kept reading was education, go to school, read your book, and all that. Yes, so many of us will say, I have read the book, I have gone through education, I've been through the 4 walls of the classroom, I've been to college and I'm back, and nothing to show for it. So it is very important, it's very pertinent that we parents do not impose our choice of a career on our children. It is very important that we parents do not force our children to be something they do not want to be. Because in the end, you move on to the other life and they are left to be sad. They are left in sadness, they are left in gloominess. So please, parents, I appeal to you to please allow your children to be what they want to be. The best thing you should do is advise and even give them a head start. A child may like to be a DJ. You could give him a head start by getting him the necessary tools, necessary equipment he might need to further or to become a better DJ or to advance in the world of being a DJ. The child likes to sing. Why not get him in contact with his idols? Let him learn from those he looks up to in the music industry. The child likes to paint. Get him paintings of Picasso and the rest. Get him instrument that he needs to paint. Encourage him by putting him in maybe tutorial class, online classes, or face-to-face physical classes with people who are very good in this area and they help the child out. Please, let's contribute. Parents, let's contribute to our children's happiness. Let's be contributors to the happiness of our children. It's very important, parents. I'm appealing. This is me appealing. On a normal day, I could go lunch, I could go, I don't care. I could go indifferent and say, it's not my kid, what's my business? I made it a point of contact to myself that whatever my kids want to get involved in, I would make sure that I contribute to this immensely and positively. I will ensure that I do not bring bad or malodorous or deleterious or heinous energy next or into what my kids want to do. Sure, I'm going to create a balance for them between education and their talent. After all, the Holy Book says what? That the talent of a man will do what? Will make way for him. The gift of a man will do what? Will make way for him. So it's essential that we contribute to our children's life by allowing them be what they want to be. I've noticed that some parents do this thing of imposing their will on their children because they are unhappy with their own lives. They are unhappy with the fact that they were forced to do what they don't want to do, and now they are doing something they don't like, something that they hate, and they don't have a way to back out of it because whatever they've loved has long left them. So they are now extending that same heinousness, that same rubbish, that same dastardly demented act to their children. Oh, I was forced to be what I am now and I'm going to do it to my kids, and if possible I'll do it to my kids' kids. That should not be the case. If career choice was imposed on you as a parent and you know better, you should not do the same to your kids. Do not encourage that vicious cycle of forcing your kids to be what they do not want to be. Please, let's make our kids happy. Let's make our children happy, not sad. There's no fun in the bubble burst. There's always fun when the bubble is floating around. That's when we see the beauty. Nobody sees the beauty when the bubble bursts. And when the bubble burst is what you do by imposing your career on your children. Please, I am appealing to parents. Please, do not force your children to do something they do not want to do. Do not force your children to be part of something they do not want to be part of. Please. Conflict of interest, conflict of career choices, let it end. I know it will take more than this web series, but let it end. Support your children in positive ways. Support support your children painstakingly, help your children to get ahead in whatever they've chosen to be their career path. That is very important. It's one of your fulfillment as a parent. It's not all about when he grows up, he takes care of me. That's not the only fulfillment you get as a parent. You should. Fulfillment comes also when you allow your children follow the path they want to. The best thing is contribute in whatever way you can. Advice in materials, in providing tools for them that will give them head start, that will help them to improve in that career they've chosen, and what not. For what is what, this day and age that we find ourselves is called a tech age. So encourage your children to go into things like technology, because tech rules the world now. Once it was an agrarian age, agriculture was the main thing. There was a time it was crude oil. There was a time it was industries, machines. But now it's the tech age. Look at the likes of Elon Musk. Look at the likes of Jeff Bezos and what have you. I don't like to cite examples of such people, but can I help it? Please and please and please, parents, please allow your kids engage in things that they want to engage in. Allow them choose their path. Advise them, provide instruments, provide the necessary things. Bring positive energy. Very important. So don't transfer the sadness you got because your father imposed something on you. Don't transfer it to your parents. Mom, you're not left out of this equation. I know how much you can contribute to a child's life. I know how much you can say, and dad will back off the child. I know how much you can act, and dad will back off the child. I know how you can talk to dad, and dad will back off the child, will let the child be, will let him pursue the career that he wants. Please, parents, work hand in hand to help the children achieve success, achieve fulfillment, achieve this aura of feel good. I don't know, like I said, if my parents had done the necessary things for me to pursue my dream as a tennis star. You know, back then it was, if you wanted to go into sports back then growing up, it's either football, or the few basketball day. I was one of the few people who said tennis. And everybody gives me the look back then like, tennis? What happened to football? I wanted to be a tennis star. I grew up watching the likes of Kim Kardashian. I grew up watching the likes of Jessica Hennings. I grew up watching Serena, Venus, Rafael, Djokovic, Roger Federer. I grew up watching Andrea Agassi. I grew up watching Kim Kardashian. I grew up watching Andrea Agassi, who is the husband to what's her name now? Steffi Graf. Yes, I grew up watching those kind, and they endeared me to the sport of tennis. I'm not a tennis star now, but at least I'm able to. I'm good, and I'm happy that I'm able to be involved in things. I'm able to follow the paths that I love. I couldn't play tennis, or I don't play tennis, or I couldn't follow the paths of becoming a tennis star. But at least I'm doing the things that I love, and I'm happy about it. Economic returns, yes, I get them in the numbers, and I get other things, but that fulfillment to me surpasses all economic returns. So I'm not a tennis star, but I'm able to do other things, other options that I have. One thing parents need to understand is not every kid has an option. Sometimes kids focus their mind on a certain thing, and that is the only thing they know. You tell the kid do B, they will say no, the only thing I know is A. Okay, but why not try out C? I will fail at it. I will be woeful at it. The only thing I know is A. Can't it just be A? Please, parents, let your kids do what they want. Stop imposing your choice on the child. Stop imposing your ideas on the child. For what is what? Adulthood is a scam. We adults love to pretend that we've got everything covered, but every day we are learning new things. Every day we are discovering new things about ourselves. But we pose to the children like we've got it all under wraps, we've got it all under control, we are perfect. But that's a lie. Kids, I know you're going to see this and you're going to watch this. Adulthood is a scam. If it's possible, and it's a tonic you can take not to grow up, I think it's best, because gone are the days, I sometimes always miss the days where my biggest problem was what color of crayon to color my fish on my drawing book. Now I have to battle through life and think of so many things that sometimes are good, sometimes are pleasurable, and sometimes they are down to earth, stressful. If you're not careful, you might just fall under the rubble. So parents, please. And another thing I need to pinpoint here is also the idiot habit of favoritism. Showing clearly that you love a child above the other. It's not a good looking, it's not a good omen, parents. Because if you do that, you're already creating enmity, you're already creating a gulf, you're already creating a lacuna, you're already creating disaffection among the kids. Like I said about imposing on career, that to get to a point, you transcend, you move to the other side, you move to the other life, you move to the eternal life, and these kids are left in sadness, they're left in loneliness. That's the same thing. You're going to create a gulf, you're going to create a lacuna, you're going to create a problem. When you show favoritism, I prefer A to B, I prefer B to C. By the time you transcend, by the time you move on, these kids are at loggerheads. They do not seem to agree. Unison, camaraderie, explore the core, whatever it is, unity never seems to exist. Everybody looks at the family, the kids, or the family, and feel that maybe there is a mental problem wrong with them, there's a spiritual problem wrong with them. No mental problem, no spiritual problem. It's just because the parent decided to not keep their favoritism to themselves, to not try to mask this favoritism, but decided to show it point blank, in black and white, so that other kids who are not favored by this particular parent can see it, and this is not good. This is not a good omen, it's not a good looking, it will only end in what? Disaster. So parents, please stop espousing favoritism amongst the kids. I know it's hard to say that the parent won't have a particular child to love. Understandable, but do not make it black and white, do not make it plain, do not make it something that a blind man will be able to see, or a deaf man will be able to hear, or a mute man will be able to say something about it. Please, parents, avoid favoritism, avoid lies. Stop pretending that your life is perfect, whereas you are still figuring yourself out every day, and we are going to figure ourselves out until we are gone from this world. Stop imposing our careers on your children. Stop the imposition of careers on children. Stop making your children unhappy. You did not bring them to this world. You did not birth them just because you want to see their unhappiness, their uneasiness. You want to see gloom on their faces. You brought them to this world because you feel they will add to your life and they will be joy to your life. So if you want that constant joy, you need to stop imposing the choice of a career on your kids. Please stop if you engage in this. It is very important, it's very pertinent, quintessential, essential, a matter of urgent importance, something that is worthy of note, yes, something that is worthy of note, that you do not impose your unhappiness on your child. Yes, we are in a family, we are from a lineage of doctors, so you have to be a doctor. I know of someone who wanted to be a literary scholar, he wanted to be a writer, he wanted to be an author. He had people like the likes of Onisho Inka, the likes of Chuna Achebe, God rest his soul, and the others, William Golding and the rest, as his mentors. But today he is studying medicine because his father imposed his choice on him. He keeps reiterating to me how unhappy he is about studying medicine, but he cannot help it. His elder siblings are all into the medical field, both his elder siblings that are male and elder siblings that are female, because he is the youngest in the family, are all into the medical line. Either they are medical doctors, or they are surgeons, or they are pharmacy, or pharmacology, or whatever. But he wanted to choose a different path, but that was not allowed. He was not given the permission, and every day he speaks of his unhappiness. And such unhappiness can lead to several other debilitating, can lead to several other dangerous things, which you as a parent do not want. But you would not know that you are the cause, you are the architect, you are the reason why this child has decided to just dwindle, and wane away. Please, parents, once again, it's worthy of note and it's of great importance that you do not impose choice of a career on your child. Do not engage in conflict of interest. Instead, support the child, give him the necessary thing he needs to get ahead in that career path he has chosen. And also, do not espouse favoritism. If you must favor one child over the other, that is if you must. Don't make it black or white. Don't make it plain. Don't make it obvious. Don't make it so everywhere. Don't allow it to be in the faces of the children you do not favor, like the idiousness and like the idiocy that goes on in the country called Nigeria. I do not apologize for my last statement. It's just comedy of errors, a clownish republic. Disaster Avenue. I'm just hoping that everything just changes for the better in Nigeria. So that's just my 2 cents. I know it's going to take more than this web series, but that's just my 2 cents. Parents, please do not force your children to do what, or to engage in careers or disciplines or follow a career path that they do not want. Instead, support them. It won't kill you and you won't die if you support your kids.
Jet plane headed up to the sky, spread wings and the clouds getting high.